The year, all across North America, sportsman drivers vie for not only divisional wins and championship points, but also the right to come to Columbus, Ohio. It's here where the leaders from each sportsman eliminator in all 7 divisions are invited to battle it out in the most prestigious sportsman event of the season, the TRW Federal Mogul All-Star Race. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special edition of NHRA Today. I'm Steve Evans. I'm sure some of you on the same latitude as Ohio are saying, what's the deal in Columbus? It's freezing outside. Actually, we recorded this show in June, the TRW Federal Mogul Sportsman Competition. It's one of our most popular off-season shows, actually. And I think that's because North America's best sportsman racers compete not only for individual honors, but team championships as well. In fact, Bob Fry is at the starting line where the 7 teams are being introduced. Robert?
Division 1 is the northeastern part of the country, and this team goes into battle under the watchful eye of this man, longtime Division 1 director Greg Axikalis. Now, this division features 4 current or former Winston champs: Bob Newberry, Frank Manzo, Steve Johns, and Ron Orban. Now, Bob Newberry will be running as the blocker because he is also the defending TRW champ in top alcohol funny car. It's been a long while for Division 1 to win in TRW competition. Maybe this year it'll be their turn. Bill Holt is the division director for Division 2. They are the defending TRW champions and the only division to have won this event on 3 different occasions. Now, they feature some interesting drivers, including a couple of carpetbaggers here in Division 2, which is the southeastern part of the country. Jeremy Tortsvite, the doctor out of Phoenix, Arizona, runs for this division. So does Tony Bartone. Lives in New York, but he's the Division 2 champion. This division also features currently the hottest superstock driver in the country, Jeff Taylor. This team's loaded. Taylor could be a key to victory here if Division 2 wants to win this one for the 4th time. Brian Merkel's the defending TRW champ in Super Street. He'll be acting as a blocker here for Division 3. Now, if any team's going to have a home court advantage, it's going to be this team. Division 3 is from the Columbus and Ohio area, actually the upper Midwest. Now, this team is loaded with power. They got one of the Jags cars, Junior, running. They got a couple of Chucks, Cheeseman and Baird. And, of course, the home court advantage, the coach, Jay Hollinger. The pre-race favorite going into the TRW All-Stars might be the next division we're going to look at, Division 4, under the watchful eye of Craig Hutchinson. Pressure squarely on his shoulders. They got Southern Nationals champ Darrell Russell. They got former Winston champ David Nickens. They got Winston champ Greg Stanfield. They got lots of other guys here that can take you out in a variety of ways, shapes, and forms. This team, in a word, is flat-loaded. If Division 4 doesn't win it, it'll all fall squarely on the shoulders of their division director, Craig Hutchinson. Darrell Zimmerman has been Division 5 director for 33 years, the dean of the TRW captains. This will be his last All-Star Championship event. He'll be led into battle by Denny Lucas, 9-time All-Star Vern Motes. Been around almost as long as the captain himself, Darrell Zimmerman. The team also features current U.S. Nationals champion Todd Patterson, and down here at the far end, soon to be the Division 5 director. Nervous, you can see it in his eyes. This is Charlie Harmon, the assistant Division 5 director. Division 6 is the northwestern part of the country, and if these guys look tired, it's because they had a long ride to get here to Columbus for the TRW All-Stars. This team features some killers in the super categories. J.R. Learcamp in Super Comp, Rod Horner in Super Gas, and the always tough Todd Sims in Super Street, plus the ubiquitous Bucky Austin in the top alcohol funny car category. They might be tired, but they're ready. Jim Rizzoli is a former TRW champ, and he'll be running for the gang out of Division 7 here this weekend, Division 7 from the far western part of the country. This team also features Winter Nationals champ John Weaver in the top alcohol funny car category, and Marty Jacobs, who has already picked up $1,000 from the folks at TRW for running right on the money. Team might be at a little disadvantage. Their team captain, Bubba Gewertz, not here this weekend. They're under the watchful eye of Gene Bergstrom. That's him. I'm Bob Fry.
In case you're not familiar with how NHRA lays out the divisions, well, here they are, so you can root from the racers from your area. If you're watching from Mexico, that's considered Division 4. If you're looking in from Puerto Rico, that's Division 2. In Canada, A. Use the closest division to where you live. Before we get to our Super Street final, let's check out how our finalists got there. Now, when you see this graphic, you'll note that last year's All-Star champ Brian Merkel lost in the final 4 round to Division 2's Ronnie Lindsay. And Ellard Lambert beat former U.S. National Super Cup champ Peter Biondo to set up the final. So it's going to be in the near lane. Lambert, his 72 Vega from Division 4, one of the stout Super Street runners in the country, and Lindsay in the 68 Firebird from Division 2. The better light went to Lindsay. The Vega playing catch-up. And in the near lane, it is Lambert from Division 4. More points to that particular part of the country. He won it at a 10.91, 128 miles an hour. Remember, 10.90 is the standard for the class. The loser, well, just a 10.94.
I'm 52 years old, and I love drag racing.
Probably love it a little more right now, don't you?
This is the best day of my entire life, my entire racing career.
And now, Red Wing Shoes wants to take a moment to tell you who's hot in the world of drag racing. Not only did Ellard Lambert win the Super Street title at the TRW Federal Mogul All-Star race, but the next day, he doubled his pleasure by taking home first in the Oldsmobile Spring Nationals with a win over Tim Schuck in the Super Street final.
I'm in NHRA heaven. I won the All-Stars yesterday, and I won the Spring Nationals today. It doesn't get any better than this.
Our congratulations to Ellard Lambert. And be sure to keep watching next week when Red Wing Shoes will once again tell you who's hot in the world of drag racing. We've got a lot more racing action coming your way, so stay tuned. The Super Gas Cars coming right up.
NHRA Today is brought to you by Castrol Syntec, the full synthetic motor oil that protects in ways other oils can't, and by Mopar, Chrysler Corporation Parts, and the Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Truck, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install them.
Welcome back to Columbus, everyone. As promised, the Super Gas Final is next on our agenda. But as they heat up the tires, let's take a look at the ladder. And you'll notice in the first round, Johnny Wood had a near-perfect light and ran 9.90 when he defeated Carl Freeman from Division 2. Now, in the Final Four, it looked like this. The first race saw Marty Jacobs in the near lane up against Jeg Coughlin Jr. This one didn't last long as Jeg red lights by 0.04 of a second. Now, the other half of the Final Four, Johnny Wood, far lane again with a great light up against Division 6's Rod Horner. And this was just a beauty. Semifinals of Super Gas. At the finish line, here's what 0.05 of a second looks like. Johnny Wood won it by 0.05. All right, now it is time for the final. Marty Jacobs, near lane from Division 7 in that 58 Corvette all the way from the West Coast up against John Wood, who's been winning on his driving alone in a 91 Cutlass out of Division 4. Division 4 piling up the points, and they get some more. It is Johnny Wood in replay. Now, Wood says that he used this race as a springboard to win the 93 Winston Championship a year ago. Really close.
You don't get that big number 1 on that car without
that?
beating a lot of drivers. This is 2 years in a row, Johnny.
It's great, Bob. I mean, what can I say? TRW provides us a great platform for all the division big guns to come out here, and it's just a great feeling to top them all. We did it again.
On to Super Comp. Both Scotty and Edmund Richardson had impressive first-round wins, and they met each other in the Final 4 round. I'll say it's the best of the best. 5 of 8 Super Comp racers finished in the top 10 in Winston points in 93. Right here was the Final 4 race number 1. Edmund Richardson in the near lane. Scotty in the opposite lane. Now, in what might have been a planned move to help Division 4 get more points, Edmund takes the win. Scotty was a blocker and could not pick up any points. Prize money sure, but not for the divisional crown. So Edmund Richardson, a big help to Division 4. And race number 2 is Nat Driscoll in the near lane representing Division 5 up against Jerry Gore from Division 1. And it was Gore the winner on a double breakout, 887 to an 888, and that sets up the Super Comp final on the starting line right now here in Columbus, Ohio. Jerry Gore in the near lane, Division 1, Vienna, Maryland. Edmund Richardson, far lane, Division 4 from Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Edmund's brother Scotty won the race last year. And it is Richardson on, again, a double breakout. Great racing in Super Comp. Both drivers more power than they really needed. Now, you notice in the replay that Gore got off the line first. A 4.08 light to a 4.20 from Richardson. But Richardson wins by 0.02 of a second. Bob's with him.
We were talking to your brother right here last year, and he was kind of saying, well, I'm going to miss this next year because I'm not going to be racing. But he was around today again.
Yeah, Scotty was doing a good job. It's unfortunate we got paired in the semis and team championship, and got to give him a lot of credit for having the heart to do what he did. So without him and Slick 50 and TCI and all the guys, this ain't possible.
You guys did really well. I just want to leave you with one thought. Tell Mom I said hi.
Hello, Mom.
All All right, as you look at the stock eliminator ladder, you notice 2 buys. Division 5 was not represented, and there was no blocker, so only 6 cars in this category. That meant there was only 1 real race in the Final 4. Dustin Braun in the 68 Camaro, representing Division 7, was in the near lane, took on Division 6 as Jody Lang racing a 79 Malibu station wagon. Braun got a bad light, and Lang put the wagon in the final. Harvey Emmons got a bye to set up the final in stock eliminator. In fact, it is coming out of the staging lanes and is on the pad right now. And it will be in the near lane. Emmons goes by the name of Speedy, as all loyal sportsman fans know, from Pasadena, Texas, representing Division 4. Where else? In a 69 Camaro. Lang made the long trip from Puyallup, Washington, just south of Seattle. Both drivers with great lights. It is Emmons by a whisker. Emmons came within 1/1000th of a second of hitting his dial head on. Great run by both, truly worthy of an all-star race. Bob Fry's at the far end with a winner in stock.
Not only individually, but boy, your team's been really kicking some.
They've been doing great, haven't they? We've been doing real good. We had a great team coming in. I knew it was going to do good, but I knew it was going to do this good. The Power Roll car was killing them today, so I hope we can do it again next year. We'll be here as a blocker.
The Emmons family in the Division 4, just awesome here this weekend.
They are indeed an awesome family. As we've already seen, these sportsman racers from all over the country put on some great shows on the divisional level. And the only publication that covers every divisional race plus a lot more is National Dragster Magazine. And the only way to get National Dragster is by being a member of NHRA. For $52 a year, you get 48 issues of Dragster, a pen, a patch, a decal, a rule book, a whole bunch of other stuff. And if you call the number on your screen right now, you'll get your choice of the Diamond P Video Drag Racing 1993 or the great-looking NHRA membership T-shirt. So join the Emmons and all the other sportsman racers as members of NHRA. Welcome back to Columbus. The Superstock Final is on deck. But first, as is our tradition, let's have a look at the ladder. A huge upset. Winston champ Greg Stanfield lost to Jeff Taylor, stopping Division 4's streak of wins. They're still able to take it geographically, but it won't be as easy. This was the Final 4. Bob Elliott from San Marcos, California, Division 7 in the near lane. And he was a little bit too quick. A red light giving Grant Lewis the win in a car that's been sitting in a garage most of the year. He now races top. Here was the other half of the Final 4. Jeff Taylor, near lane, Lumberton, North Carolina, Division 2. Took on Les Allen, Division 6. Allen nailed the tree. A 5-1 light to a 5-6, and a former winner of this event was gone as Allen headed to the finals. So here is the Superstock final round, the TRW Federal Mogul All Stars. Allen in the near lane from Arlington, Washington. Grant Lewis, Jessup, Georgia, has won this event twice before. And it is Grant Lewis. Wow. Both drivers ran 600ths over their dial, so the difference was reaction time, and that's where Lewis got a 5-3 to a 5-5 advantage. Bob Fries with a very happy Grant Lewis.
Hey, if I could run as well as you did, I could win this thing hands down. Nice job.
Bob, it's nice to win it 2 years in a row, but this old car's been sitting up 8 months, and we have had gremlins all weekend. We've slowed down 0.3 after the first run, but the 0.3 it slowed down, it stayed consistent. And I'm just tickled as I can be.
And you should be. Here's how competition looked. Todd Patterson earned the first round bye by being the #1 qualifier, and former Winston champ Steve Johns broke during his run, giving Division 4's David Nickens the win. Here was race number 1 in the Final 4. Nickens in the near lane. The famous Castrol Oldsmobile, a 2-time winner of this event. Glenn Treadwell from Sorrento, Florida, however, had a better reaction time than Nickens, a 5-3 to a 5-8, and he whipped him. Biggest win of Treadwell's career. The other half of the Final 4 in comp, Todd Patterson, far lane, the defending champ of this race. And look what happened. A foul start giving Bob Piniella Jr., representing Division 7, a trip to the finals. And here it is. Bob Piniella, far lane, Stockton, California, driving a 93 Chevy Lumina. Glenn Treadwell, Sorrento, Florida, the 23 T Ford. It is Piniella. He cut the best light in today's comp races with a near perfect reaction time in the final round. Just outstanding. Here in replay, you can see that the man from Sorrento, Florida, Treadwell, just couldn't quite get there. He got into this race because Mark Chaperone couldn't make it to it. Bob's with the winner. Robert?
Great program, isn't it, getting to meet some of the best runners in the class?
It's really neat. I mean, I've never thought, I've been coming here watching, my dad when he owned Larry Morgan's deal for a long time and never thought I'd ever be a part of it. It's pretty killer.
Drag racing is genetic, like father, like son. They're both winners.
Welcome back to the TRW Federal Mogul All-Star Race. As we get ready for the supercharged set, the alcohol cars, let's take a look at how they got here. Bob Newberry, Chuck Cheeseman, and John Weaver all had huge problems just getting down the racetrack, and all went out in the preliminary rounds. Now in the final four, race number 1 saw Vern Motes from Division 5 have some big problems. A fuel leak there. They could not get it fixed in time, and Tony Bartone, representing Division 2, even though he's from New Jersey, I'll have Bob Fry explain that to you. He got a freebie into the final round. The other half of the final four, who was going to race for Tone? Well, Bucky Austin, Division 6 in the near lane, had big problems. He, too, could just not get down the racetrack. It just quit at mid-course. And Joe Penland got the win for Division 4. Where else? So the top alcohol final round. And interesting here, too, Steve Boggs has double duty. He was crew chief for both finalists. Tony Bartone from Bayside, New York, near lane. Joe Penland Jr. from Nederland, Texas. Both of them using the talents of Steve Boggs. Penland all crossed up first. And Tony Bartone wins alcohol funny car. Take a look at Penland. He was really dirt tracking it in that far lane. But if I know Joe, he was darn glad to make it to the final. Here's Bob.
You were a little confused after that semifinal, to put it bluntly.
Well, we had been changing a number of ignition parts, and we knew we had a problem. So what we did was we changed everything for the third time. We just put all new parts back in the car, and obviously we found the problem. Now we just need the tune-up.
It's a great win for Tony Bartone. For those of you that can't tell, he's from Division 2. That's down in the southeast, y'all.
Tony is more of a use than a y'all kind of guy. Unlike the funny cars, the dragsters all made it down to the racetrack. One big casualty, though, in the first round was Jim Rizzoli, a former winner of this race. Let's have a look, though, at the final four. In race number 1, it was Denny Lucas, Division 5 in the near lane from Grand Junction, Colorado. Tom Conway in the opposite lane from Division 4. Always tough. And no exception on this day. A 5.97 to a 6 flat Conway into the final. Race number 2, in the final four, we saw Darrell Russell. Russell over in the far lane. Same lane we saw Conway win in. Up against Chuck Baird. And Russell had an almost perfect light and a huge win to go into the top alcohol dragster final round. And it will be, again, he likes that far lane. Tom Conway had lane choice, and that's where he chooses to reside. Darrell Russell of Cypress, Texas. His biggest final round ever. And he has got problems. The Texan has to shut it off. The tire shook violently. And this is Conway's third TRW All-Star win in just 5 years as he beats fellow Division 4 racer Russell. Have another look, especially in the near lane. You can see it really got violent. And Darrell thought, why lose all my fillings?
Well, it wasn't one of your more picturesque wins there, Tom.
Well, she rattled the tires pretty hard, but I guess not as bad as he did. I don't know what he did, but I couldn't see him, so I was going to hang with her.
Was it the time of the day or the track just getting slick?
It's a little bit of everything. You know, this track is always real touchy. If you just go over the border, well, that's what happens to you.
Our congratulations to Craig Hutcherson and the Division 4 racers on their win in team competition. Well, that's about it from here, but don't forget to join us next week for the California Hot Rod Reunion at the times you see on your screen. For Bob Fry, I'm Steve Evans. I'll see you then, right here on TNN.
NHRA Today has been brought to you by Mopar, Chrysler Corporation Parts, and the Chrysler Plymouth, Dodge Truck, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install them. Promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by this special offer from Diamond P.
What a year it was. And drag racing fans, you need look no further to reminisce in your own VCR with Diamond P Sports recap of the season, Drag Racing 94. From start to finish, Pomona to Pomona, we'll take you through the Pro Stock Wars, the rampage of the Dodge Boys, sizzling season highlights of Funny Car with John Force breaking all the records, and of course the duel and Top Fuel. Scott Coletta's incredible championship. Kenny Bernstein ends the tour at 314 miles an hour, and the final ride of Don the Snake Prudhomme. It's all in Drag Racing 94. To get this video, call 1-800-257-9393 or send $24.95 plus $4 shipping and handling to the address on your screen to relive the whole 1994 NHRA season from where you're sitting right now.
NHRA Today is a presentation of Diamond P Sports.